One thing you should never say to someone who's chronically depressed or really struggles with depression, especially to a severe degree, is it's like never. It's like tell them that they want to be miserable, and that's why they're feeling that way. I mean, we don't understand really what depression is, but speaking from experience, it is so amplifying the depression to tell someone, oh, I guess you just want to be miserable. It's like, and you'll figure it out. No, that is like one of the most toxic things you can say, because nobody wants to be miserable. Even masochists, like, they do the painful thing because they enjoy that, but no one wants to be miserable. People get stuck in being miserable. You can totally get stuck in a perpetuating like loop that kind of keeps you miserable and kind of wallow in it. So there's maybe a glimmer of truth in there, but no one wants to be there. They're just stuck if they're there. And I've been there, even just carrying on about it's like this or that thing that's eating me, and just I think a lot of depression is energy vampires. I talk about the archons in other videos, who are basically these non-corporeal beings that use all these things, like anywhere from social media to like jealousy and contention between people. And I believe there are these non-corporeal beings that are basically energy vampires and feed on that negative shit. They're bottom feeders. It's like they feed on that negative energy. And that's not just my idea. I've totally heard that before, but it really checks out to me. And there's people out there, like, there's all kinds of people. We aren't necessarily the same. There's people that it's like, just like there's people that run naturally kind of low and kind of depressed, there's also people who run naturally kind of high, and they're just like those kind of people who are just like overly happy and actually annoy other people who hid their over gregarious disposition. I've witnessed it and kind of experienced it, being the one that's been overly positive and being the one on the receiving end of someone being overly positive when I'm like really feeling crummy and curmudgeonly. But it's another misconception, I think, when a lot of spiritual life coach kind of people are like, oh, anyone can do this, anyone can do meditation, which, yes, maybe, but it's a lot harder for some people, especially people with ADD. It could take them a long time to achieve that, and a lot of intention and patience. And there's a lot of people that don't have patience, and it would take them a long time to achieve certain states. Not to say it couldn't be done, but it's definitely much more challenging for some people than others. So I just thought it should be said that don't tell people that they want to be miserable. That's just low. That's just low. That's uncalled for. And if you hear someone say that, you should speak up and it's authentically tell them that that's a very hurtful thing. And on a side branch to that, when someone is saying something that rubs me wrong, instead of just lashing out at them and being like, blah, 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 well, you're just judging me and stuff, instead of having that kind of reaction, what I've said before, or what I've started saying, is that's really hard for me. You're making it really tough for me, like when you talk to me that way. And so there's a healthy approach to people who are just brashly making light of something that's really difficult because they don't understand, and maybe they run naturally happy and haven't even experienced the depths of insufferable mental toughness. So support your friends going through that, and universal compassion is the right approach. I'm not saying I'm perfect in that way at all, but that's my intention, is to be compassionate, because people are different from us, and just because we don't understand, it doesn't mean they're just choosing to be miserable. Like, to have that viewpoint is so low-level intelligence. It's so important to be understanding of like the differences that people struggle with, especially people with chronic depression, because if you get so much depression over the years, even on your good days, it's like you might feel it. And I've met people who like forget what it feels like to feel good, and they're just always miserable. Like, people wouldn't off themselves if they could just choose to be happy. And I mean, it should be said that it really does take a lot of intention and effort to make a positive impact on your own life and other people, especially if you've been beat down by life and had traumas and a lot of unfortunate things. Some people get a smooth life, and other people it's really difficult for them, and that's just the reality we live in. I mean, just look at the homeless people. Like, this society does not make a place for everyone. It's sad to see so many outcasts and so many people that just don't fit into this society, this world.